Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good.
It has been a while. Yes. Thank you for a warm welcome. Perspective. People see it as something we have a topic, a method, something blah blah blah. When it comes to perspective, we are seeing the same thing, the same matter, the same whatever from different angle, from different POV, point of view. Alright. You might wonder how on earth or why on earth did I come with that topic in the first place? Alright.
Why?
It happened that it happened a few days ago while I was banging my head against the wall, not literally, to look for an answer to a specific engineering physics problem. I will describe about that in my third point, but before I arrive there, let me tell two stories. Essentially, these two stories, we are describing the same thing from different perspectives, as per my title. Let's bring us to the world of imagination. Imagination, as SpongeBob said. Story number one. Imagine there's a river flowing. Beautiful river. Big, fat river. Tremendous. Oh, no, I can't make it wrong. Tremendous river, and it was autumn. Leaves falling. In the first story, in the first scenario, I put myself as a leaf. I consider myself as a leaf. I follow the leaf, flowing from the end of the river, flowing down, and then move away. I am the leaf. What did I see? I see myself moving. I see myself as a first person. Mathematically or physically, I'm seeing when did I start? The moment I fell into the river. And then, where am I now? And how long has it been? Those are physical quantities, right? In physics, that is called Lagrangian way of describing motion. Right? Keep that for a second. Let's move to the second point, to the second story. Imagine the same river, leaves falling into the ocean, being swept away. But now I'm no longer the leaf. I'm standing, I'm taking position at the point at the riverbank, and I see at the specific point of the river, the leaf flowing. Now I ask myself, how many leaves have passed through my path, my position? If I can measure, I would measure the velocity of the river flowing. To put it simple, that is the third person way of describing emotion. And in physics, we call it as Eulerian method of motion definition. Now, there's a second story. These two, Lagrangian and Eulerian method of describing motion, is actually describing the same thing. Motion of leaf, motion of whatever it is moving. Alright? Now, this brilliant physicist I actually don't want to put too much emphasis on the mechanics of it, but I would like to put forward to the audience how great minds think. The first method, the Lagrangian method, is very useful if you want to describe the motion of a solid body. Alright, because we can track the motion where it started, where it finished, and everything. But imagine you have a liquid which is uncountable. You can't count liquid. You can measure it. I mean, volume of it, but you can't count the tiny particles, or you can't track. You can't count the particles of fluid. Therefore, you can't measure it. So sorry, you can't keep track of it. So another physicist trying to understand the motion, come up from a different perspective, so that from their brilliant way of thinking, we are able to solve a lot of fluid-related problems. So the lesson here, maybe you couldn't pretty much understand what the examples that I've given. Sometimes, instead of banging our head against the wall, we just need to look at things from a different perspective, so that we can find a solution. There's a story of one physics, two approach, two perspective, and one very beautiful river. Thank you very much.
Okay.